are live. Welcome back to the Anthony Spade Reactions channel. You're now listening and watching the Sigma Nation podcast, where I represent Sigma males. Sigma males are introverted alpha males that focus on accomplishing their dreams and self improvement. When I talk about Sigma males, that's what I represent. If you're not a Sigma male and you do not feel like you fit the description, fake it while you're on the channel. For those who do not believe in Sigma males, it is okay for you to exit, but being disagreeable to us over here is going to get you blocked. So today, lesson is going to be two lessons in one. The first one's going to be 7 habits that keep men weak. The second part is going to be why men cannot leave narcissist girlfriends. All right. And this is highly requested. I'm always getting questions about narcissist girlfriends. So the second part of the lecture is going to be that. The first part is going to be 7 habits that make men weak. Now, when it comes to habits that make men weak, if I start to name off traits and you start to become these traits, one thing that I want you to do is work on them, but don't admit them. This is Sigma Nation. So majority of the guys that I'm speaking to are already confident guys that don't get caught in these situations. So a lot of them are not going to relate to it. But far as the Sigma males, when it comes to the traits of the weak men that I'm going to be talking about today, my only advice for a Sigma male is you have to eliminate these type of people out of your life. They're cool online, but in your personal life, you have to eliminate weak men because weak men have feminine energy. When a man has feminine energy, he's going to give you female results, which means that he's going to react to things just like a female. It's the same thing with a woman that starts to develop alpha traits. Her responses would be just like a man. And now we have a lot of women who are acting in life as if they are men. So realize a weak man is going to have feminine traits, and they're the type of friends you don't want around you because their emotions is a liability. And with your emotions being a liability, they're gonna always keep the wrong people around them. Weak men are always the guys that are trying to get everybody to get along. So they'll try to get you to be along with one of their other snake friends. And then eventually weak people find themselves alone because your loyalty to one person is betrayal to another. Whenever you're trying to make everybody happy, you'll start to mix friends in together that don't get along with each other. But the nucleus of them would be you. At the end of the day, they will get rid of you because they will believe that you're betraying them because of your friendship. So as a Sigma male, we're automatically the introvert that's moving by ourselves. So if you find yourself having weak friends, they're only going to bring you down. Get rid of them immediately. Now, when we get into the lecture on the narcissist girlfriend, this is going to be a lecture where I'm going to need you guys to pay attention to the psychology of what's going on because a lot of this psychology, when you have it, it's very hard to break. All right, it's very hard to get away from, but the psychology behind it, when you see others going through it, you have to learn to avoid them. Big shout outs to Keandre, member for 7 months. Oh, he's putting up the memberships to be officially Sigma Nation, $5 a month. Big shout outs to Keandre. All right, guys, I'm about to get started with the lecture. Once I get started with the lecture, the only way to get my attention for the most part is going to be donate to the channel. When you donate to the channels, the colors come up. I stop, I answer your question. After I answer your question in detail, then I get back to the lecture. But until then, that's the only way you're going to get my attention. Typically, my lectures will last from 30 minutes to an hour. After that, I'm going to ask for questions. When it comes to questions, make sure you put a Q in front of your question so when I'm skimming through the chats, I can see who's asking the questions and I can differentiate that from the people who are just in here talking to someone else. All right, let's see who all we got up in here. Keandre, Life Wells, and Jay, y'all the only ones that's chatted. We got 105 people in here. Let's go ahead and get it to 105 likes. Let's go ahead and get that up as I go into the lecture. Looks like I got somebody. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. I parked all the way the fuck back here. Hold on, bro. I'm in a parking lot where I am so far back in the parking lot. The road is literally almost a mile away from me, and somebody wants to drive all the way back here. But we get ready to get started, all right? He done. All right, he done drove off. Let's get we got 78 likes, 116 in here. Let's go ahead and get it. 122, let's get them up. All right, we get ready to go into the first part of the lecture. Is going to be 7 habits that are keeping men weak. All right, the first one. This is going to be one that a lot of people are doing, so you can't really see yourself differentiating it, but it does make you weaker, and that's going to be making fun of other people. All right. When you have to make fun of other people in order to put them down, that means that you haven't thought about a way for you to level yourself up. You have to realize that when people start to hurt, one thing about human beings, whenever they start to hurt, they blame it on people. Whether even if they cause themselves the problem, they blame it on people. So people feel like if they're going to lash out at someone, then they have to lash out at a human being because the human being is the one that hurt them. So when you're making fun of people or you're trying to poke fun of their flaws, then that's showing your insecurity inside. You're exposing what you are insecure about, and when you go to make fun of them, that's making you feel empowered. When you have to feel empowered by pointing out someone else's flaws, that's a weak link. And the reason why is because when that doesn't work, you become miserable. If somebody goes to expose something about me, what do, guys? I immediately start to expose things about myself so I can shut them down. What does that do? That shuts down the accuser that's trying to get dopamine releases from putting someone else down. This trait keeps men weak, especially if you surround yourself by other weak people that enjoy doing the same thing. One thing that you will notice about men with money, this is why every guy with money is not high value. You would notice about lames with money, once they start getting money, then they're grouped together and they're only talk shit on each other. Do you see a lot of rich people that just get off with putting weaker people around them that look up to them just so they can clown them? You see this all day long. So understand, making fun of people and being weak, it doesn't mean if you have money, and it doesn't mean if you're poor. It's still a trait that weak people do to feel better. When you come across someone like this, the best thing to do is, if you can't really beat them with the words, sit back and find another way to beat them. People like that make all kind of mistakes. But as long as you're a man poking fun of other people to get yourself in a rouse, you're going to always remain weak, and you're going to always look weak to other people. The next thing is not being accountable for your actions in life. You're not progressing in life. And when you're not progressing in life, you're looking to blame someone else, and you're not being accountable for your own actions. I say this all the time. Your mother and father brought you into this world, right? But your death would be based on your decision. And I also tell parents, your child doesn't owe you anything because he's a product of your decision. They were never asked to be here. They're just a product of your decision. So your child really doesn't owe you anything. So when it comes to life, life really doesn't owe you anything. Eli, big shout outs, bro. Welcome to Sigma Nation. Life doesn't really owe you anything. And there's so many people that are standing still, analyzing, collecting knowledge, trying to figure out how to make a move to keep from failing, and it keeps them standing still. So when they don't get the results they want out of life, you're looking to put the blame on someone else. No, in life, you have to be accountable for every single thing you do. Every single decision that you make is up to you. You decide who sticks around. Desiree Ellsford, big shout outs. She became a Sigma Soldier. Big shout outs. You have to be accountable to your friends. I say it a lot. I don't have friends unless these friends are in the same direction as me. If you're not into cars and you're not into car meets, you're not into YouTube and you're not into music and you're not into art like I am, I'm not going to be your friend. I am accountable to everybody that's in my life because I'm accountable for every action that I take. There's no reason for me to have useless friends that I talk to once a year, twice a year. I'm not calling somebody to check on them and make sure that they're okay. I don't do none of that. If you're not in the path that I am going in life, I'm not going to be your friend. I don't care how long we have known each other. You have to be progressing in life. People who don't want to take accountability to their life and they're not progressing in life, they keep the same friends for years at a time. I can guarantee you, if you've had the same friends for the past 6 years, you're probably still making the same amount of money, living in the same house, and living day to day. That's it. You and your friends see each other every day and y'all just like each other photos on fucking Instagram to make each other feel better. You're not progressing. Be accountable to your actions. Tell yourself, I'm not where I'm at right now in life because I haven't gotten the fuck up and did anything with it. I haven't chased my dream. I haven't researched where I want to go. I haven't taken that next step. I didn't walk outside today. I didn't go to the park today. I didn't go to the gym today. I ate fast food today. Take accountable to your life because when it's all said and done, you're the only one that's going to be responsible. A weak person is going to sit around, be lazy, be angry, and find faults into others. That's your life. When your life becomes that, people are not going to care about you in life. Next thing you know, all your friends are drug addicts. All your friends are drunks. All your friends are the losers in life that look at people that went through the grind and you say, they think they're better than me. There's a reason why certain people, when you walk into certain places, people automatically start treating you like shit because you look like it. Your energy is it. But you've tricked yourself into thinking that you're important. That's the one thing that weak people do. You get so weak that you start to feel entitled that someone's supposed to treat you a certain way. Someone's supposed to act a certain way around you. No, you have to be accountable. As a Sigma male, when you have friends that are not accountable for their actions, you have to get away from them. You cannot be the guy that has your life together, but you hang around your bummy friend who always has baby mama drama, who's always in and out of job, who may smoke weed, who always has a lot of shit going on. You cannot be accountable and then be around unaccountable people because technically you are who you roll with. So you must realize not being accountable is a weak man's trait. A strong man being around a weak man, that weak man will eventually weaken you. Still has to sharpen steel. Stay away from unaccountable people that's not progressing in life. Understand that. And that's nothing against somebody that's staying in the same spot. It just means you need to find a way to get ahead. You are not supposed to be stagnant in life. Stagnant people are miserable people and eventually become drunks and drug addicts and losers. That's facts. And I can say that because this is Sigma Nation and you guys are supposed to already be on your shit because that's what we represent. All right? You got any friends like this, get away from them. Next, running from failure. The biggest losers in life are the ones that's so afraid to fail that they don't even try. Okay? You have to understand. 95% of people are going to do this. You know why? Because it's too comfortable being a loser. It's too comfortable playing victimizing because that's the default of life. If something doesn't happen to you, find fault. It's easy to find someone else that can look at someone else and point out their flaws too. This is how niggas trap each other in. Crab in the barrel mindset. You try to get out, they pull you back in. Why? They make it comfortable to be a loser because everybody is running away from failure. You cannot run away from failure. Denzel Washington said it best. If you're not failing, then you're not even trying. But you guys love listening to motivational speeches. You love listening to motivational quotes. You like watching or listening to those speeches where they got people in the gym going back and forth. They running down the streets. The words are coming across the screen. Y'all like to watch those things, right? But here's the trick. Here's the trick. Every success story started with failure. Whenever you hear someone gives a speech, they start off with their failures. They start off first with telling you what went wrong with their life, why they were miserable, why they were depressed, why they were down on their luck, and then the motivational speech builds up to where they're at now, and then people turn around and recite them. So you have to understand this. You like listening to it, but you don't like applying it. Those who do not like applying it and chasing the dreams are weak. Why? Because it's easy to talk it, it's harder to walk it. People that spend too much time talking normally just keeps talking themselves into a hole. You just keep talking like you know everything. You keep talking like you're smart, right? But you keep making decisions like a dumb nigga. Example, you have a lot of women out here, right, that think that they're smarter than the next woman. Every woman thinks they're smarter than the next woman. But if Patrice, the college grad, ends up in the same spot as Shaniqua, who didn't finish high school, then both of you are still dummies because you made the same decision as her. So if you're a smart woman that you claim and you end up a baby mother struggling on welfare, but Shaniqua, who never graduated, she ends up the same way as you, y'all end up in the same positions in life, it's because you made the same damn decisions. You're not better than her because you think you're different. Society gives you a clear view of who you really are. So you have to understand, there's so many people that are running away from failures. All they do is find themselves lodged inside of a group of people that's ready to be manipulated. Like, for instance, with the election coming up, let's see what black get killed by a cop this time and how they transition it into protesting. The ones who have no life, y'all are the ones that are sitting back waiting for a protest to start, because now you can play victim. Now you can play all these other things. Why? You ran away from failure your whole life. If you run away from failure your whole life, you know what you're going to do? You're going to become lottery players. And then you're going to get quick scheme artists. That's what happens when you run away from failure. Now you find yourself in pyramids. Now you find yourself, hey, what stock can I go and I just get rich tomorrow, Aunt? You become that guy. You become the lottery player. Every day you playing the damn lottery trying to win. This is what happens when you run away from failure in life. You risk things that are not that risky. But if you learn to take a bigger risk, then you get further in life. Stop choosing comfort. It is so comfortable to do nothing because it's not required and there's no accountability to it. All right, next. Siding with the majority. Siding with the majority and not thinking for yourself. Now you have blue pill and now you have red pill. All right? The red pill is knowledge. And I really get sick of people acting like the red pill is a movement. The red pill is not a movement. The red pill is the knowledge that's out there, the woken knowledge that you never paid attention to. You could be a blue pillar and listen to red pill stuff. You could be a person that's not even in this community and listen to the red pill stuff, and it makes quite a bit of sense to you. Sigma is just a mindset. So what people have to understand is siding with the majority is a weakness. Twan, big shout outs, bro. He says, well said. I really appreciate that, my man. Siding with the majority is a weak trait. Because siding with the majority is bot shit. It means that you're under someone else's control. For instance, the people that line up in line to go get Apple phones, you got to cut them off. The people that standing in line trying to get Jordans, you got to cut them off. The people that stand, like when people got the stimulus check, if you have friends that stood in the line at Gucci and all these other stuff, you got to cut them off. When people are showing you that the massive groups can be manipulated to go in the wrong direction, you have to leave that alone. But everybody connected to that, you have to cut them off completely. Like I told you, when that George Floyd shit kicked off and I seen it, I seen the Antifa, I seen the George Soros shit, I seen how they was manipulating the crowd. I'm like, yo, they're really using black people. They done turned this nigga into a martyr. And you saw how everybody changed immediately just to find out years later it was a lie. Just to find out the vid was just a lie. Just to find out all that was just a lie. Everybody that followed it, you damn near got to cut them the fuck off. Because they're already showing you that their brain is not focused. So these are weaker people. When you start seeing people move along with the masses and they're not thinking for themselves and they become divided, you got to cut them off. When you're dealing with feminist women, you have to cut her off. That's a movement that doesn't even correspond with reality. What do I mean? Are men and women equal? Yes. But women don't take their cars to feminist mechanics. They don't do it. Whenever it comes to the tough stuff, a woman's going to always revert back to a man to get it done. She don't call up, they don't go to war and ask to go front line. And by the way, they just started letting women go to war in 2021 for guys out there that think you're proving me wrong when I made a statement that women don't go to war. They just started in 2021. So you have to understand, we live in a life where feminism is only good for debates because women are not living it out in real life. They're not. They're not going to go get the tough jobs. They're still doing the same shit that they've always been doing, but they're putting up a good fight. So guess what? When girls, you go on a date with girls and she talking about some women empowerment and that, cut that bitch off. Leave her alone. She is under mental scrutiny. That's a weak person. She's going to be loud. She's going to be a liability to your emotions. That's the whole point of cutting weak people out of your life. It's because when you get your life together, you can't allow emotional people in there because they're going to shake you up. So when you have someone following the social standards, following what everyone else is doing, cut them off. And if you the person that's doing it, you better not get in my chat and tell me you the one doing it. You better fake it and you better start changing your life up. Big shout outs to Spiritual Alpha. He says, salute, Spade. Big shout outs, bro. David G. Zachary sent $5 on the Cash App. Really appreciate you, my man. He gave me a 100 for that. Thank you, bro. All right, the next one. And this is one that Keandre asked about yesterday. Weak body language. All right, weak body language is something that's holding a lot of men back. It's walking around looking like you're fucking Frankenstein, ready to be told to do something like a damn slave. Or you sitting somewhere uncomfortable. Or you laid back all zesty and shit. You got a lot of niggas now that are zesty. They start sitting down, crossing their legs and shit, and flicking their shit back like they motherfucking women. Women see that stance and it's an automatic turn off. Sitting up looking like you scared, that's an automatic turn off. Men have to learn to have good posture. Your body language says everything. I hate when I see people that's damn near John Coffey type motherfuckers. Y'all remember the Green Mile John Coffey? A big muscular black dude, but had the whole soul and spirit of a little kid. That's how it is now. A lot of these guys, you put off an image that's totally different than your body language. Your body language says I'm frail. Your body language says I'm scared. Your body language says a lot of stuff. Your body language has to stand strong. And when people see you walking and talk a certain way, they're going to treat you that way. You know how many muscular... Go to Atlanta right now. You're going to see so many muscular, masculine, in shape black dudes, right? You're like, damn, they look like football players. But when they walking with a damn twitch. You're going to be like, this nigga walking like he got on heels. But he don't have on heels. But he's walking like he got on heels. See, there's a big difference walking around with your chin up and you looking like you're confident. Then walking around like this or walking around like that. It's a big difference. Your body language says everything. This is why you got to correct a whole bunch of shit in your life. And it all starts with picking your head up. Learn to pick your head up and walk. Too many people are walking with their head down because you're already used to it being like that. Well, it starts to fuck up your posture. Now you got people walking around like this and their posture's all fucked up and you're unattractive. It's the same thing like if you sleep with you learn to sleep with your mouth closed, it'll start straightening out your face. And then you'll start to look more attractive. If you snore and sleep with your mouth open, it's going to start making you look unattractive during the day because it's going to make you appear to have a wider face. I had to correct that. That's why I'm telling you. So understand your body language, not just your body language. Handshakes, eye contact. That says everything. The eyes see through the soul. The more experiences that you get in life, the more you're going to be able to look at a person's eyes and see through their soul. That's a secret that women have. That's why they use them eyelashes. You guys ain't even catching on to that. A woman can look through a man's eyes and control him. Why you think they're always trying to make eye contact? Why you think there's always guys like, hey man, she with her girl looking at me. She walked past, she stuck at me. I looked over, she seen at me. That's manipulation. When women can stare at you in your eyes, it's manipulation. They're showing their strength. T-Bird with the $2, big shout outs, bro. He says with the facts. Exactly. You have to understand that. You have to be able to look at a woman in her eye and let her know, oh, the eyelashes ain't working with me, sweetheart. Don't even shake her hand. Give her a pound and walk off. A woman's going to look at you in your eye and she's going to be able to see through you. All right? Your eye contact has to be superb. Guys, weak men, you're afraid to make eye contact. Even with men, you're afraid of it. Regular dude is definitely back in the building. He says, I can see a weak man when he don't even look at you. Exactly. He said, you can see a weak man even when they don't look at you. Exactly. Big shout outs to Regular Dude. We missed you yesterday, bro. But he's absolutely right. Your eye contact, your handshake is going to say a lot about you. Once people know that you're weak, their approach to you is going to be totally different. The way they talk to you is going to be totally different. If a guy comes up to me and shakes my hand, spouts me up, but never looks at me in my eye, I know he been talking behind my back. We good, bro. So you got to understand that when you walk around as a man, a woman's going to start looking at you from there, but a strong man is going to judge you like a woman. Strong men know who's weak and we know who's soft. That's what separates the leader from the leader that's going to run you down the drain. Like with me, I'm a good leader. I can spot the weakness of a person, but I can find out what they're good at and put them in that position. You'll notice a lot of businesses, every Indian wants to be a chief, but a good boss knows what the employee is good at and put them in certain charge of certain things that they're going to excel at because they can read through that. So understand, you have to learn to have your eye contact, your handshake, your movements in life have to be different. This is why you have to get in the gym. Start correcting those bones. Go through your chiropractor. A lot of you guys out here, your posture is bad because you sleep on a bad bed. You're slouching when you drive down the road. Y'all see my seats are always up. You slouch when you're at home in your seat. You slouched at your computer desk. So now when you get up and walk around in real life, you just look like a sloppy ass person walking like a fucking monkey or you're fucking limping. Orgy King with the $20. Big shout out. He says, hearing you before working out gets me hyped up. Salute to you. Big shout outs, bro. Really appreciate that, my man. So understand, get your posture up. And speaking of the gym, learn to do a lot of squats. That's going to build up your whole core of a body and have you walking real masculine just by doing squats. Regular Dude's back in it. He said, yeah, I work 12-hour days. Definitely miss y'all. Big shout outs, bro. We still gave you a shout out, though. Everybody was showing love, even though you weren't here, my man. Atlas 93 in the building. Enos is probably next. All right, so understand your body language, your eye contact, your shaking of the hand. That does a lot to a woman. Next time a woman's staring at you, stare at her back and say, hey, what are you looking at? Do that. You have to realize women will get you with eye contact. You make eye contact with them, they're going to see through your soul. You go through the strip club right now, that stripper going to look at you dead in her eye when she talking to you and tell you she a nurse when she put her hand around you. But that's all just to keep you in tune with her so she can take your money. Once the money goes into the little strap around her leg, she going to wink her eyes, spin over and go to the next guy and do the same shit. So understand, a woman's going to get you with eye contact. You show weak eye contact, you're good as food, not to her, to another man as well. Next, wasting your teens and your 20s doing nothing. You have to understand, you cannot waste your younger years. And this is what keeps men weak right now, I'm telling you. In your younger years, and I'm specifically speaking to 18 through 25, maybe 18 through 30-year-olds right now. You cannot waste your time on video games. Studies have shown the longer you sit in the house, the longer you go nowhere and you play video games and exercise yourself mentally, the weaker the structure of your body becomes because there's not enough blood flowing through your body to strengthen up your bones. So your body starts to become frail. You cannot waste your time in your teens and 20s doing nothing. You cannot do that. That's doing nothing but weakening you, and it's making you more frail. Once the body get frail, then the brain will start getting frail. Once you're frail, then you're just going to be scared of everything. There's too many guys now. You're scared of everything. Why? Because you wasted your teen years doing nothing. You have to do stuff. Big shout out to Keandre. You have to get up and do things with your life. You have to get that moving. You have to get active. See, when I say this, right, it's kind of brain dead to a lot of guys. What you don't understand, when I was coming up in the 80s and 90s, there were no cell phones. There were no smartphones. We had to go outside. We had to go play football. We had to go bike riding in trails. We had to go discover life. You had nothing but groups of kids hanging out. And from there, you learned to be tough. You learned to get along in life. Sometimes we would take bike rides across to the other town. Back when football was really big, and you go from every Friday, you're at a different high school stadium meeting different people that you never saw before in your life. That's the time you had to pick up women. The only time we got new women is football season and basketball season, when you're following the school buses to the next high school to go play basketball or football, and they were your rivalries, and you started meeting women that way. Okay, we had to get outside and do stuff. So we became quite tougher. Nowadays, guys don't go outside no more. You don't go play football. You don't do anything active at all. Everything is in the matrix. Your whole life is in the matrix. Your entertainment is in the matrix. Your life is in the matrix. Your friends are in the matrix. If you want women, you go to the matrix. That's the only place that a lot of you guys in your teens and 20s are doing. You're standing still. Your life is just leaving an imprint in your seat. That's it. You're changing up your gaming seat more than you're changing up your shoes. Project Gameplay, big shout outs, bro. Really appreciate it. So you have to get up off the video games for a little bit, and you have to start doing active things. You see a lot of gamer, geeky dudes that are on TikTok that are starting to lift weights now, that are trying to get big and bulky, that are trying to live out that dream in reality. You guys have to start doing that, because if you create a lazy mindset in your 20s and in your teens and 20s, your 30s is going to be rough. 40s, forget about it. Go find a church to go to. Find some fat chick you can live off of. That's going to be left for you. That's what it's going to be. You have to make yourself physical something, so your blood starts to flow throughout your body different, and then your brain starts to think different. Do not waste your time in your teens and 20s. That phase is very valuable, because that's the phase that's keeping majority of these guys weak now. Is when they go into their 30s, now you got guys who are 38, 39, 40 years old. Y'all sitting online arguing with little 13-year-old boys. That shit ain't cool, bro. That's making you weak as a man. If you're going home playing Madden and the dude that's talking shit to you is 7, rushing, fucking up your emotions, something is wrong with you, bro. And that's where we're living in. We're living in a world where these guys can easily be frustrated because they're pretty much stuck inside the matrix. Do not waste your teens and 20s. Those are the years that you start to build up character. Those are the years that's going to set the mark for the rest of your life. All right, next. You're not doing enough with your time. Pretty much. You're not moving with time. Big shout out to my man Spider Ninja. I know he changed his name, but I forgot. Big shout out to my man Ninja. Like he said, you can't move with the clock. You got to move with time. You guys are watching time every day, and you're moving with the clock, and you're judging how much time you have left in the day for what you're going to do. And you still don't end up doing nothing. You have to move with time, which means that you have to wake up every day and understand that the world is going to continue to move. You die right now, they're going to continue to move. There's nobody thinking about the person that died yesterday. There's nobody thinking about the person that died 2 weeks ago. They family member who can't move on with their life, they may be the one that's affected by it, but the rest of the world is going to go on. So regardless of how you feel inside, regardless of how your emotions are, the more miserable you are, the more depressed you are, the more you're going to be entitled for attention you are. But guess what? The world don't give a fuck about someone who ain't made something of themselves. So if you want to be noticed and appreciated in life, you have to start doing things with your time to create a life. You have to create your life. By the time people realize that your life is in your hands, it's normally too late. You're like 45, 50 years old trying to figure it out. I hate coming across people that age asking me advice on how to be success. I tell them this, nigga, it's time to go be a deacon of a church. It's too late, bro. The mentals that it takes to be successful, it's best you start building that up as a young person. You're going to get a lot further, because if you keep looking at the clock, all right, the clock just letting you know that your day's going by fast. You may feel better, but time says if you moved on a lot. That's where you find yourself 5 years later still doing the same shit and you still got the same friends. I'm going to say it again. If you don't had the same friends for the past 5 years, you have not went nowhere in life. All right? Any of these traits that I just named today, that's the last one I'm going to talk about. I ain't got nothing else on this lecture. I'm about ready to go to the next lecture. If you have any of these traits and you here in Sigma Nation, you better fake like you ain't got these traits and get out there and start working on them. As a Sigma male, if you know anybody with these traits, get away from them. And the reason why you got to get away from them is because you got to constantly keep adjusting with life. Everybody ain't going to make it to the top. It's not. Everybody ain't going to be happy. Everybody ain't going to get there. Everybody is not. And you got to realize there's no stamp on how much money you get to be happy. There's no certain blueprint for happiness. But you, as long as you're trying and you stay repetitive, like Will Smith says, as long as I have a dream and I put in my 10,000 work hours, I'm going to be successful. You got to have that mindset. As long as you have a dream, your dream may not come when you want it to come, but as long as you stay working at it, it will come. You guys have to realize, I didn't find a good woman till I was 38 years old. But you got to realize too, I didn't know YouTube was my calling till I was 36 years old. So you got to realize is that I've had plenty of jobs that made me a lot of money, but this was my calling. Sometimes you never know when it's going to land on your lap. You just got to be prepared for it when it's come, but you cannot be afraid to go for it. It's a lot of emotion. It's a lot of overthinking, and it's not meant for everybody. But sitting at home doing nothing, it's loser talk. You're only setting yourself up for misery. Big shout outs to Tiger Brad, Ninja Storm with the $1. Really appreciate it, my dude. All right, we're going to go into the next lecture immediately. I'm not going to really take any questions now. You guys save your questions with 37 minutes. Now I'm about to go into the next lecture, which is a highly requested one. All right, definitely. You guys are doing good on the likes. Definitely give me some donations. You know how it is out here in the donations. I keep it going. Feel what I'm saying? Marco Falzon says, we men need to overcome our emotions. You're exactly right. Men are just in an emotional state right now. And believe it or not, as much as we hate it, we have to understand how we got here. Men didn't wake up and was just magically weak. That didn't happen. It was orchestrated. All right? They planned this. This was a plan of action. It started when you were a little kid. It started with the cartoons, and it started to build up over time. In order to change the generation, you have to start building the kids up earlier in life, which is why so many people will be voting for Trump, because Trump already told you, when I'm getting in, all that goes out the door. So as long as we can say all that to go out the door, and you'll start seeing some changes with the next generation. So a lot of guys out here who are weak, it's kind of not your fault. And the reason why it's not your fault is because a lot of parents were just going along with the program because they were bots. This is why parents were believed you should have a kid. And a lot of parents who don't have dreams, who don't have ambition, the default of that is having a child. So women will have a child because they don't have a dream and they want something to do and they don't want to go out as a loser. So women would start having kids. The problem is they started having kids. The family structure wasn't there. Both were working. Mom and dad were working. All right. As mom and dad work and they're stressing at their jobs, trying to keep their job, trying to pay the bills, save up, and do things as a family, they couldn't deal with the stress of children, but they still love children. That's where technology came in. Parents were getting home from work and they were just putting their kids in front of computers. The more they put the kid in front of computers, the less stress it gave to the parents. So it made parenting 20 times easier when you could give your kids distractions that don't bother you because you've been working all day. Well, you take those kids who've been sitting in front of a computer since a baby and now they're an adult, they're still on the computer, but they're like, man, I really want to do something with my life. I'm getting sick of sitting in my room. It's kind of like now the parent doesn't know what to do because the parent hasn't been taught, has disconnected from the child. But it's going to get to the point where the parent's going to say, hey, you got to go be an adult now. I haven't taught you to be strong, but you got to figure it out. I haven't taught you how to get a job. You got to figure it out. I haven't taught you how to be successful. You got to figure it out. Parents are pushing kids into the wolves of world with no experiences because all of their experiences are online. This is why people are weak. They're fragile to society. The parents don't get it. The parents are just like, oh, they grown. I won't want to keep taking care of them. It's like you didn't raise your child. You stuffed them in front of a fucking computer to keep you from being annoyed. Now they got to come into the belly of the beast and don't know how to survive. That's what's making people weak, is that they don't know how to go in real life. They don't know what's good, what's bad. You have people getting in relationships and their boyfriends are coming home killing the whole family, raping, doing all kind of shit you're hearing because people don't have street smarts because they grew up on the fucking internet. That's what's happening. You're coming into real life blinded. You don't even know who's real, who's fake. You just want to be part of something. Hey, I'm just going to go hang out with these people today. And then she's dead. Why? Because all your life has been on the internet. You have not been able to read a snake. You can only read what people say, what you want to hear. That's how it is on the internet. The internet people only deal with what they want to hear. A lot of you that are watching me now is Anthony. We love you, man. We like it, Ant. We love it, Ant. Yeah, Ant for president. The moment I say something you don't like, I say one sentence you don't like, I say one paragraph you don't like, I say one ideology you don't like, it's fuck Anthony, bye. I ain't watching him no more. See, that's what got niggas weak. That's what got the women weak. You only go along with people that's playing along with you, so it's easy for you to get conned. This is why people still getting catfish. How the fuck you getting catfish in modern day world? Why? Because they have no street smarts. They have to follow what's going to make their emotions feel good. What makes your emotions feel good? People telling you what you want to hear. They're not physically showing you what you want to see. They're telling you what you want to hear, and you're following the shit. That's why people are weak. Big shout out to Keandre. He says they want to extradite male aggression programming. You're right. But it's backfiring. It's backfiring on society because you're not building men to be men to think logically. You're building emotional serial killers that feel like they cannot be in reality and that life has did something wrong to them because they're only brainwashed for the Matrix. Most of these kids are not, let's say this is the Matrix, right? Hold on, let me pull, I may have to pull out me a little desk today. Pull out some notes out here. All right. Get my tablet real quick. All right, here's the tablet. The modern world, let's say this is the Matrix. All right, that's the Matrix. And then let's say this is the real world. The world that I live in. I visit the Matrix. And then you have dark web. See, what's happening here is you have the dark web, you have the Matrix, and then you have the real world. Most people in the Matrix that's not familiar with the real world, they leave here and they go over to the dark web. The dark web is where it gets real griggy. Now, the other people that leave, they go back into the real world. That's what we have. Everybody is sharing the Matrix. right? But they meet in the middle right here from the dark web back into the matrix. That's where all the confusion is at in here. You could control this, then you can stay away from this because this is more powerful because this, the dark web, controls majority of the matrix. So you have to go back into the real world just to keep from getting caught up into these belief systems. This is what's going to destroy you. This is going to have you hating people because people that are over here in the dark web, you got to watch them. They enjoy watching animals being abused. They're watching videos where people are suffering, getting stabbed, shot up, like snuff films. They're watching all the bad shit over there. They're watching nothing but destruction on the dark web because those are the people who are chipped up. They only know bad shit because they have never been into society like that. They haven't been there long enough. So the matrix where we're at now, that's the nucleus. People come here and then they go back into the real world, right? Like with me, I come in, but I go back into the real world. Some people visit the matrix and then they go back into a darker space that gets even more darker than the content that we're saying here. So you got to realize this. A lot of people are completely done just through weakness. They will be hating for the rest of their life. Society has built serial killers that's building up the courage to kill. They're not building up people to make them go into society and live a good life. They're building people up to help eliminate people to make the process faster. But they're also building more prisons at the same time and tearing down less schools. They're removing more religions out. They're preparing for anarchy. They're preparing for it to happen. They're just building up the killers now. Most of these dudes, when you look at Jeffrey Dahmer and you look at all these serial killers, these are the same niggas trolling. The same mindset that you see these serial killers have are the same ones trolling. This is why these stories online are becoming so popular. It's because they're more relatable. When people start seeing Jeffrey Dahmer, it's a dark web of people that's watching that damn show and they say, yeah, we're just like him. Yeah, man, he's doing a good deed. Then you got stupid ass women out here like, we feel sorry for him. People are dumb. They're not even real. Like, a lot of women, especially blacks, you don't realize the guys that are left for you to be with are going to kill you. You just don't see it yet. You think just because you can manipulate a stupid ass simp makes you feel powerful because you taking shit from him. What you ain't realizing is that man's been programmed to kill anything that don't agree with him. Why you think you keep saying all this psychological shit? This IG model ended up dead. This IG model ended up here. He did that. And then you look at the boyfriend, he's weird as fuck. Like, why the fuck would you even be dating some dude like that? Because they think they're winning by getting all the money off him, but they ain't realizing you got a nigga from the dark web. So you got to realize now, as a Sigma male, when you come across these type of people, you got to be wary of that shit. Because that's where the world is setting up. The world is setting up for these introverted, dark web people to get their guns together and start shooting shit up because they're afraid they can't fit into society. That's what's happening, and that's what people are ignoring. I'm going to say it again. You got the dark web people, and you got the people living in reality. Both are sharing the matrix. When some people leave the matrix, they're going over watching animals being abused. They're going over watching people. They got websites for this where people are watching it. And these are the same people in this red pill space. Listen to what I'm telling you. I was a computer programmer in the military. I know people that know people. A lot of these people are in the dark web. Don't get it fucked up. Brian Lonnie says, just read 6 Miles in Nature to continue to strengthen my soul. Now getting a daily dose of red pill. Anthony for president. Big shout outs, bro. Really appreciate that. Jared, 20-year recovery. This is a daily one. He says, sex addiction ruined my life for 20 years. Then I quit all vices, all toxic, and went hard in the gym every day. Outwork everyone, no excuses. You're right, bro. See, I like those comments because that's what you got to do. You got to block everybody out and make a sacrifice for yourself. Remember I told y'all I got to the point where I was banging so many women, I had to ask myself, like, why am I having sex? There's be times you getting head, you just looking at her and you're like, man, just stop. It don't even feel the same no more. Or you know you're going to girls for, you know how many times, you ever watch Boomerang, right? With Eddie Murphy, when he got to the point where he was sleeping with Robin Givens, but he was thinking about the good girl. And he was like, man, I really want to be with the good girl. And him and Robin Givens was about to have sex. And he just stopped and he didn't want to sleep with her. And he realized, like, holy shit, I'm getting sick of fucking this thought. I'm getting sick of fucking this good looking, pretty ass girl because it's getting me nowhere spiritually. You know what I'm saying? I went through that phase where I had to stop and say, banging these girls ain't getting me nowhere spiritually. It's not getting it nowhere. I went semen retention in the middle of my prime just to correct who I was. So you have to understand, spiritual healing is something that you have to do. But if I would have knew that, I would have did semen retention at 21. If I would have knew how powerful it was when you do it, I would have did it at 21. I'm being honest with you. A lot of people don't understand it, but I'm telling you, semen retention will change your life. Do not get it twisted. Try going no sex, no jerking off, just straight mental strength training. Trust me, your weights in the gym will go up too on the semen retention. I guarantee you, you start putting on at least 5 or 10 pounds a week of muscle just by doing the semen retention, all right? We about to get into the second lesson right now. The second lesson is why men cannot leave narcissist women, all right? The guy that I'm talking to is the guy that knew the relationship was over 6 months ago, and she just kept dragging your spirit out. She just kept dragging your spirit out. Every day it was like, when do I get out of this? When do I get out of this? I'm talking to that guy that got caught up in a narcissist woman that's bossing his whole entire life around. And the type of woman I'm talking about is going to be a self-centered woman that feels like her needs are more important than logic. That's what narcissists are. Narcissists are people that feel like their needs are more important than logic. So that's the type of woman I'm going to be talking about towards the type of man that just stays listening to her. All right, so the question here is, why men cannot leave their narcissist girlfriend? And I'm going to explain to you why. Narcissists are smart. The first reason. Narcissists are smart. They can actually pretend to be the girl that you want them to be when they think you're going to leave. That's where they get you the most. They show you, I can be the type of girl that you really want. I can act like that, but for the most part, I'm going to act like this headache that you have to adjust to. So a lot of narcissist women, they only adjust when they feel the heat on. When they feel like you may think about leaving. When they may feel like, oh, I think I may have went too far. Let me go back to acting like the type of woman that he likes. They're very good manipulators. They can act submissive when they want something out of you, but then once they get everything out of you, they go back to empowering you. They go back to belittling you. They go back to everything else. But the moment they think you getting ready to creep away, the moment they switch back into being that type of woman that you wanted them to be, all of a sudden she went from screaming and yelling to now, yeah, what's wrong with you? You know how it is. Now she's talking all sweet and innocent to calm you back down. She can quickly adjust who she is faster than you can make the decision to leave. That's the problem. Most guys get sucked up into that because you start to think, oh, my attitude got her changing now. She see I'm mad, huh? You got it. She changing now. No, she's just making you more comfortable before she switch back. So a lot of narcissist women are perfect actors at the right time. I'm going to say it again. They're perfect actors at the right time. You have some women out here, they're just dysfunctional. They don't know how to do what a narcissist does. A narcissist woman is an extremely smart woman that spent more time studying all of your actions while you just looked at her booty. You studied all her actions while she rationed out the pussy. She's studying everything about you and giving you little bits of what you want out of a relationship that she knows what triggers you and she knows what untriggers you. Get those likes up. We at 314 in the building. Let's get that up over 300, all right? She knows how to adjust to being the woman you want, adjust the mood. When she thinks she's did too much, she'll calm it right back down. She'll always find a way to keep you in the loom of her, which keeps you what? Your emotions going up, coming down. Your emotions going up, coming down. A thoroughbred narcissist woman can keep this up for 15 to 20 years. There's plenty of guys that are in 15-year relationships where that woman has been a headache the whole time, and and other men don't see it till he get along with his boys, and he's like, hey man, I don't know what's going on in my relationship, man. Like shit, fuck. You know you got a narcissist when you can't wait to get around a group of guys and start talking about your issues. That's when you know you got a narcissist woman. I'm gonna tell you that right now, because her moods are up and down. You're gonna think you in charge 1 minute, and she gonna remind you that you ain't. That's what keeps men in the relationship, is the love and unlove, connect and disconnect, boss to submissiveness. She'll let you feel like you're running the relationship. She may even say, honey, can I go do this? She'll throw some shit in there she ain't never did before. She'll ask you permission to go do shit just to make you feel powerful. You gotta watch out for that. A true narcissist woman is gonna throw that at you. Do you care if I do this? She's going to try to act like she really cares what you got to say. That's when you know she's a thoroughbred narcissist. When she go from being a boss to now trying to be extremely submissive in certain cases. Keeps a man locked in. Next thing. She's never, how can I say this? A narcissist woman never believes that you're going to break up with her. She always believes that she's going to be the one that breaks up with you. All right? You can't leave. It's because when you try to leave, she aims to fuck your life up almost immediately. Windows getting bust out. She going to talk about you. She going to degrade you. Everybody's going to know your business. Even just trying to get away from her is going to be a fucking headache. It's going to be hard for you to leave even when you're gone. She's going to make your life a living fucking hell. A narcissist woman is going to bust the windows out of the guy that's nice to her that she thought she had full control over. That's one of the reasons why you can't leave. It's because she feels you can't get out the relationship until she lets you go. Until after she destroys your life. Then you can go when she's tired of you. But if you try to leave her before she's okay with it, where you done spotted her game, you done spotted her bullshit, and you said, I want to get out of this relationship, oh, hell no. She gonna fuck your life up. Listen to what I'm telling you. It's going to be the hardest relationship for you to get out of, because she'll find some way, somehow, to get you. Even if she got to call your job. Even if she got to fuck with you at the gym. She going to find some way to put herself always in front of you to remind you that that relationship is not over. She puts your life through hell. And a lot of guys, when you try that first attempt to break up with her and she shows you how crazy she can get, you find yourself staying in a relationship longer because you fear breaking up with her and losing your whole life. That you start to plan out, if I break up with her, maybe I could just go to Mexico for a couple months. If I break up with her, maybe I should just move out of town. If I break up with her, maybe I should just move to the other side of town. Like, you know you got a narcissist when you're scared to break up with her, that when you know you break up with her, you got to be in position to move somewhere else or do something else to change your entire life, go to another state. You start thinking about that shit because you're afraid of the backlash of what she's going to do whenever she breaks up with you. You guys have to understand, man, when you get locked into a narcissist, your desperation got you there. Not her. Because one thing narcissist women don't do is go towards alpha males. She don't sit in front of them. She don't try to talk to them. She may argue and debate a little bit, but she gonna get away from an alpha male. But when it comes to a beta male she knows she can manipulate, she's playing for keeps. She is playing for keeps. She's playing for complete mind control. So when you think you gonna break up with her, you scared. You like, fuck, I tried to break up with her one time, man. I swear, bro, I think put a gun in my head. I think she'll shoot me. You start thinking that if I break up with her, she is going to get crazy. So guess what? You find yourself stuck in that relationship. What do you do to counter this? chances are for her to be a narcissist over you, you have weakness. You're not going to be able to strengthen yourself while someone's draining your energy. You got to find a way to get away from her, even if it's got to move to the other side of town. Out of sight, out of mind only works with those type of women. Out of sight, out of mind, and it has to be out of sight, out of mind. When I say out of sight, out of mind, I'm talking a full-fledged no contact. Full-fledged. What that means, anybody connected to her got to go. You got a best friend that's friends with that's in a relationship with some girl she know, you got to cut off your friend. Nobody can know your next move when you're dealing with a narcissist woman. Nobody can know. You know why? Because your friends are going to fucking fold, bro. I'm telling you, you got a friend that's friends with your girl that you want to break up with. He's going to tell his girl because he's weak, and he's going to love the drama too. So don't trust nobody. You must cut her off and cut everybody connected to her off, even if it's your own friends. Listen to what I'm telling you. In life, you have to learn to protect your energy. If you do not protect your energy, you're going to be miserable for the rest of your life. Trust me, the best time is when you're alone by choice. Being alone by choice is the best way to live because you can always put people around you. All right, next, you have a chemical bond. This is the worst type of bond to have, is a chemical bond. You develop chemical bonds with women when she's rationing out the pussy. Let's get those likes up. We got 310 in here with only 261 likes. Let's get all the likes up. You have a chemical bond. Jason Moon, he says, keep speaking the truth. Help the unwoke see the light. Thank you for your time. This is a subject more than men should be aware of. You're absolutely right, bro. That's what I'm here for. We really appreciate Jason Moon with the $5 that donating to the cause. He's absolutely right, my dude. A chemical bond. Let me explain to you how you develop a chemical bond. See, when it comes to a narcissist woman, you like her style. You like her aggressiveness. You like her life of the party. You like how she's everything, how can I say, personality-wise that you want. She's confident. She's attractive. She gets along with everybody. Everybody want to be around her. Chemical bond. We're not talking parabonding. We're talking a chemical bond. A chemical bond is when you start to become infatuated with someone, right? You start to get dopamine whenever you're around them. So this is how guys turn into stalkers. You find a girl you like, and the anticipation of seeing her starts to release dopamine. You're not sleeping with her, just seeing her starts to give dopamine. You're going to school like, oh, hi, Sarah, and you're scared to go near her, but your body is happy just to say hi to her. Okay, that's called a chemical bond. You start to get dopamine releases whenever you get around her. 9 times out of 10, when you first meet a narcissist woman, she's not gonna like you. You're gonna have to work to get her. Majority of these girls that I'm talking about that did this to you, these are women that you chased. These are women that you pursued. These are women that when you got them, then they turned around and started treating you bad, but you chased them at the beginning. Chasing them at the beginning, not getting pussy, not getting a response, not getting that, had you coming back. The more you kept coming back, the more dopamine releases you get every time you kept getting closer to her. So by the time you guys formed a relationship, you're happy as fuck to be in a relationship that now the chemical bond is already set before you get your first kiss. It's already set before you had sex with her because you kept getting dopamine releases trying to prove yourself to her to get her. See, all of that starts to portray. This is why people say when you work so hard to get her, then it's worth the wait. No, it's not. The harder you work to get her, the more you're going to appreciate that you got her, but you're blindsided through your desires. You're blindsided through the fact that you really just needed sex. You thought you loved her, but when she started playing hard to get and shit like that, and you kept working to come back and get her, and she kept letting you get a little bit closer, you got dopamine releases thinking that you was advancing. So by the time you got in the relationship, now she has you chemically attached to dopamine, which means that every time you think about leaving her, your heart breaks. You can't go that long without her. I'm not going to talk to her for 2 hours. That lasted 30 minutes. I'm not going to talk to her today. I'm not just going to call her. That lasted an hour. You got to realize You done went to plenty of your friends and told you to fucking leave her alone. Everybody done told you to leave her. You leave her for a half a day and then you back talking to her. Why? You have a chemical bond, which means you're getting dopamine releases through your body every time you are around her. That's why when you break up with her, you feel like you're gonna die. You cry all day, you cry all night. Every time you think about it, you cry. You ride down the street in the car, you ain't listening to no music, you just thinking about it. That's dopamine. That's a chemical bond. That bond is created at the beginning of the relationship when she's playing hard to get for you to get her, and your body starts to release dopamine every time you're taking another step getting close to her. Most guys cannot leave narcissist women because that chemical dopamine you get makes you feel like you're in love, but it's not love. It's infatuation. And I told you guys, love is never at the beginning of the relationship. Love only kicks in when the sex gets old. All right? You don't believe me? Meet a freaky ass hoe that say she like you and y'all do everything on the first night that they do in porn. Licking booty, sucking dick, all kind of shit the first night. I guarantee you that relationship ain't gonna last. Because at the beginning, it's always infatuation. People are seeking sex partners more than they're seeking someone to be in a relationship with. So it's never love. She dragged your dopamine and releases in because of your anticipation of getting sex with her, not love. Every time you work harder to get her, the more dopamine releases step in. By the time you're in a relationship, you're a full addict to her nature, which means everything she do, you just love her. You just like it. That's what is called a chemical bond. That's where your body needs her. It needs dopamine to be around her because you work so hard to get her. Them dopamine releases is what keeps you trapped in a relationship because you don't want to be hurt when you get out of it. You try breaking up with her for a half a day, you can't do that. You're going to go right back to the phone because you can't go that long without seeing her. It's called a chemical bond. The next type of bond that keeps you in there is called a trauma bond. Trauma bond is damn near Stockholm syndrome. What do I mean? The chemical bond is used to create the trauma bond. The chemical bond keeps you in there, in the relationship. The trauma bond is what keeps you there for 15, 20 years. Why? Because when you start trauma bonding with a woman, the relationship's only 3 months old. But you guys just keep arguing and fighting, arguing and fighting, arguing and fighting, arguing and fighting. Next thing you know, y'all done argued and fought so much, she's won. So now, everything she do, you just go along with it. This when you find yourself, the bitch ass nigga, in front of the crowd with you and your girl, arguing with her viewpoints. Next thing you know, you argumentative just like your woman. You and your woman petty, talking about everybody else. You all up in this nigga's business. You all up in that couple's business. You all up in everybody's business at the fucking church. Why? Because she in it. She done trauma bonded your ass. She done argued and fought with you so much that you give in and say, all right, she's just the boss. Fuck it. I'm just going to do what she want to do. That keeps you in the fucking relationship. It's when y'all have argued so much that you start to think, we've really been through some things. Y'all ain't went through no things. You just fucking argued your way out. No, she just kept arguing and debating with you till she took control over the relationship. Once the woman takes control over the relationship, she's going to start to abuse you. She's going to start talking down to you. You're going to feel like you're not good enough. She's going to poke fun at you. Once she starts doing this, then you start to deal with it and you put up with it. You start to feel low, but you in a relationship, but your woman bullies you. That's called Stockholm syndrome. Now you start to agree with her negative shit. Granted, women get played the same way with guys, where you have the girl that's with the dude. He's bad for her. He beats her ass every fucking day. He gets locked up, right? She down there bailing him out because she trauma bonded with him. Which means the trauma that she has with him starts to feel like these are things they went through and they can't get out of. She has Stockholm syndrome. She starts to go along with him. You have a lot of criminals who have wives that do this, who have correctional officer girlfriends that do this. They get so trauma bond into the relationship, they can't leave. They're just going along with whatever drama the person they're infatuated with is. All right? It's called Stockholm syndrome. It's the same shit. She abuses you so much that you just give up and say, I'm just happy to be in a relationship. I'm not good enough. Whatever. I'm just going to go along with her. I'm with the loudmouth here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looking at your woman like, yo, your woman really be out here doing, yeah, man, you know. Next thing you know, you the laughing stock of the relationship. That's trauma bonding. Regular dude, he says, have you actually been with these type of girls? No. No, not me. You gotta realize my mom's a psychiatrist. I'm from a military background. My mother was the successor, but I had a bunch of uncles. I have 9 uncles, that taught me how to be alpha. When it came to women, I had my mother teaching me this about women, how women were. So you have to understand that that's where most of my knowledge come from, is through my mother. And today, in today's world, she runs a Salvation Army group for women that have been abused and have been in these type of relationships, but they also deal with men who are going through drug recovery programs. You know what I'm saying? Where they help them get off the drugs, they give them a dorm room. So when it comes to the psychology of abuse, I grew up being taught what happens. I grew up being taught why that person goes through this. This is why my knowledge is there, is because I've seen it hands-on. I've been taught it. So yes, these type of women right here, I haven't been in these relationships because I've been Sigma damn near my whole life. I didn't find a long-term relationship until I was 38. From 18 through 38, my longest relationships was maybe 6 months, if that. In Miami, no, there was never a relationship like that. The girls I dealt with other girls. That's just how Miami is. You feel what I'm saying? So, no, not really. On the trauma bonding thing, I know about that, and the chemical bond is something everybody catches. Every man's going to catch a chemical bond connect because you cannot control your desires and your infatuation. Number 5 reasons, gaslighting. This is where you have to be smart as a man. You cannot let her trick you up into believing that your thought system is wrong. That's what a narcissist does. If you try to point something out she's doing wrong, or you try to point some different stuff out, you try to call her out on anything and prove her wrong, she twists it back around on you and have you feeling like you're the bad person. You cannot be a weak person with a narcissist woman. Narcissist women aim for weaker men just to gaslight them to maintain control of the relationship. When she got you questioning everything that you're doing and she got you feeling like what you're doing is affecting everybody else, but it's really her. Yo, who the fuck keeps sending me messages on Instagram? Cliff Champion, stop sending me messages on Instagram, bro. That's just interrupting my screen. So when she's gaslighting you and you start to question yourself like, hold on, man, how you flip this shit back around on me? She's good at that because you don't have a game plan. This is why it's not smart to come online and take somebody's stuff that they're teaching you about women word for word and then try to go back and recite it. It ain't gonna come across right. One thing that narcissist women are perfect at is gaslighting men into being confused about their own thoughts on what they say to them. When you're confused and she can rebuttal fast, I'm going to be honest with you, it's time for you to get up out the relationship. And the reason why you got to get out the relationship, truthfully, you're just not smart enough to keep up. The woman cannot be smarter than you in the relationship. You have to be smart enough to keep up. She can only gaslight guys who are not smart enough at keeping up. Guys have to learn your league. You have to know what woman looks up to you, what woman doesn't look up to you, what girls look down on you. As much knowledge as I have, I cannot control what people think and view about me. So there's certain girls that may look at me and say, oh, Anthony Spade's a lame. Then there's going to be other girls that say, yo, Anthony Spade's the man. I can't get mad at the ones that think I'm a lame. I can't take the girls that think I'm the shit and use that to have confidence to convince every girl I'm the shit. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to make a difference. You have to know your league. You have to know exactly what type of girls view you as power, because if you don't, you're not going to be able to outsmart the girls that you're infatuated with. And if you can't if you can't outsmart them, they're going to gaslight you the entire relationship. They're going to keep you confused just so they maintain the power. So understand, gaslighting is one of the things why men can't get out the relationship, because she uses it to keep you confused. All right, next, blaming yourself, bro. Blaming yourself. Too many guys, you blame yourself about the relationship. Let's go ahead and get those likes up some more. We almost up there. Show me some love on the donations too. Um, Blaming yourself is a big problem. And the reason why a lot of guys blame themselves when it comes to the relationship is because you feel like your actions is the reason why she's acting like that. You feel like you're doing something wrong because she's moody. A lot of times you're blaming yourself because you've been a simp to your mom. You've been a son husband. I'm going to tell you that. You've been a son husband because that's where you learned this from. Your mother has programmed you to blame yourself because she's been the first woman that's been trying to get you to be perfect whenever it comes to her. She the one had you buying Valentine's Day gifts. She the one had you buying every time something come around, you had to buy something for your mom. You were doing everything with your mom that a husband's supposed to do except sleeping with your mom. So now you go into the next relationship and you in there trying to treat this woman the same way you treat your mom, and you're wondering like, how the fuck am I treating her better than my mom and I'm not getting far? What the hell am I doing right? This is supposed to work. Why? Because it worked on my mom. It's supposed to be working now. That's where a lot of guys get caught up at. You've been trained the wrong way. Your mother has been training you to give her attention that she always wanted from a husband. But she ain't trained you on how to get out here and deal with these girls for the streets. So when you got a certain way that you've been taught, that's been told, this is the perfect way to treat a woman, and then it doesn't work, you're left questioning yourself because you don't have any street smarts. But if you had street smarts, then you would know, man, I could get this girl by saying nothing. I could get this girl by cursing her out. I could get this girl for being nice. In reality, you have to be able to adjust to each different type of woman. There is no one size fit all whenever it comes to women. But when you're questioning yourself, it's because you have a one size fit all mindset. So if something goes wrong with your game, you sit back and you blame yourself why it didn't go right. And if she's gaslighting you, you can stay in that mindset for a very long time. See, I can tell you this. You know you got a narcissist when your mom and your girl don't get along. You know you got a narcissist. You know why? Because both of them are fighting for control over you. Your game on your mom would never work on the game on your girlfriend. So you would notice both of them won't like each other, but your mother is going to want you to come around and treat her a certain way, and your girlfriend's going to try to break that bond because she wants complete control over you. So stop questioning yourself, because that's one of the biggest things that men go through is blaming yourself. The reason you blame yourself is because you're using the same game to satisfy your mom as you doing on your girlfriend, and it don't work. All right? She'll run circles around you all day long. All right, next. Here's another one. This is going to be the last one. You stay in a relationship because you've isolated yourself from everybody. That's one of the main things why you in the relationship. You done cut off family, you done cut off friends, and you have completely went under this woman's belief system, thinking that you guys were going to get married and live a whole life with just you and her. So now you in a relationship because you can't go around your friend and tell them that the relationship failed. You can't go around people and tell them that you're having a bad time in a relationship because you convinced them too much that the relationship is good even when it was bad. A lot of people are doing that. You set the relationship to look good on surface, but you and her been arguing every fucking day in the house. You've been arguing every day as a couple, and then you've been changing, and y'all been walking around in real life acting like you're a happy couple. You've isolated yourself from your family and friends into thinking something was going wrong, going the right way when it was going wrong, and you can't go back to them and talk. That's one of the biggest problems you guys have had. You've isolated yourself too much. You've lost everybody. I said in my one song, when you get the girl you want, you lose your bros. That's what happens. When you get the girl you want, chances are you just got a narcissist that wasn't going to allow you to live a life unless you cut everybody off and put all your focus into her. So one of the reasons you can't leave is isolation. You have nobody to go back around and be comfortable around. You have no friends you can go be comfortable around. You have no family members you can go be comfortable around because you're on bad terms with everybody because of her. A lot of guys are going through this. You're stuck in a relationship thinking it's you and her versus the world, right? But it's really you by yourself while she's bullying you into her world. You're going along with everything that she want to do. She ain't gonna care if you lose your friends because she could easily go get her some new friends. Narcissists are good at that. They're good at just building a whole new storyline with their life. So understand, men can't leave narcissist women because narcissist women uses your desire for sex to manipulate you into being their slave and giving them the emotion of feeling like a queen. You treat her like a celebrity, she would treat you like a fan. Why? Narcissist women aren't trying to be in a relationship with a stronger man. Stronger men don't date narcissist women because narcissist women are too dominant. So you have to understand, narcissist women are always aiming for a weaker dude. And you will see this 40, 45 years old. When they start dating guys that are younger than them and they really get in relationship, they're just dating guys that they can manipulate and have complete control over. The best way to avoid this type of woman, you have to control your desires as a man, and you have to be out here doing shit with your life so you don't attract them. You have to realize a narcissist don't go towards a real man. She makes the little man work for her. And then when he finally feel like he done finally got him a prize, she knows I got him and I can do whatever I want with him. And that's why men can't leave narcissist relationships. Right? Go ahead and give me a like if you like that lecture. Go ahead and get your questions in at this point while I take a drink, get my coffee together. Damn, that lecture was for 80 minutes. I did pretty good on that. Let's get those likes up. Let's get those donations up. And let's definitely get those questions up. I'm going to take some questions here for a little bit. And I got a video that's going to be releasing that I'm going to need all of you guys to go watch immediately after I get off this live. I'm going to put a video out with 50 Cent that I want everyone, it's a reaction video that I want everyone to watch. And I'm going to be talking about the TikTok, that new TikTok filter where the filter is permanent on the women. Damn, I got coffee stains, bro. Yeah, I drunk this before we got started. I could see the stains on my teeth. It's all good. Lecture was still good. Let's get them questions up. But yeah, I'm going to be releasing another video here soon. I'm going to need you guys to run out there and watch it. He says, have you ever thought about doing a TV show? Make sure you start putting a Q. Put a Q in front of the question. Put a Q and then ask the question. Have I ever thought about doing a TV show? Maybe one day, but with me, I kind of like to stay. I got to build up to it. Maybe one day. He says, I notice a lot of psychological problems when using social media. You take your mind off of something for a minute, and then it's like you're struggling to remember it. It's called short-term memory, not really psychological problems. It's just your brain's moving too fast. Your short-term memory is looking for another thought, so it's not holding on to the thought that it has. That's what most people are facing that are online, is that your thoughts get so used to changing every 15 seconds that trying to remember what you did 2 seconds ago, your brain's automatically set to forget about it to create more room for you to learn again. It's like having a hard drive, right? And you're down to those little gigabytes, megabytes, and the computer is warning you like here, but if you have a good computer, right, it'll start deleting old files automatically that you never used before just to create room for the new download. So you got to realize that's what your brain's doing. Your brain is taking in so much information that it has to delete stuff out of your memory just to create new information to put inside your brain. This is why people have short-term memory. The brain has to create room just like a computer. He says, do I block her from everything? Yes, you always block a narcissist from everything because she already knows how to attack you before the end of the breakup. All right, Ty says, how do I get over the regret of making past mistakes and dealing with bad relationships, wasting those times. You don't get over them. Everybody's going through bad relationship. You need those scars. Pain is nothing but weakness leaving the body. You gained experiences. You can't look at it as bad times. You have to look at it as experiences that you have learned. That's how that works. You're supposed to go through that. The more pain you go through in your younger years, the easier your adult years are going to be. I can guarantee you that. People that don't go through any pain in their younger years, when they get in their older years, they're more likely to do this if they can't figure out the problem. So understand, the more pain and experiences you go through, the better you're going to be. You're never going to forget about it, but it will go away at time as long as you're pushing forward in life. If you're standing still thinking about it, it ain't going to go nowhere. If you haven't created short-term goals and start living out those short-term goals, as you start to create short-term goals and accomplish them, more of that would start to fade away. But if you stand still and think about it, then it's not going to work. Big shout outs to Ray Allen. He's definitely in the building. So hopefully I was able to answer your question on that. The next one, Daniel Spell says, what's your opinion on the Russian-Ukraine war? I live in the United States. I could care less what's going on over there. Period. I live here, bro. I don't care what's going on over there. Like, I got more than enough. He says, Anthony, Muslim believe in zodiac signs. Why do you teach that? I think I said at the beginning of that video that we're just playing around with it because this is a popular subject. I think I said that at the beginning of the video. I said that at the beginning of the lecture. Every time that I talk about zodiacs, I tell you I'm just playing around, not to take this serious. Hernandez, goodbye, bro. Keandre, questions. Doctor, and another thing, if this is a Muslim dude, a lot of you niggas is weird, bro. Like, although I'm a Muslim, I know in the Muslim community, a lot of you niggas is weird. Keandre says, Dr. Richard Graham was Chris Williams' podcast. He says society goal is to destroy males because of aggression. Like you said, more killers and more prisons. So how to maneuver as a Sigma? As a Sigma, we're already introverts. You have to watch the world as a Sigma while you're moving forward. No one, like out here in the real world where I'm at, no one stops me from doing what I want to do. When I want to go to the gym, I go to the gym. I want to go run in the park. What do you need the whole world for? It's kind of like, what do you need all these friends for? So the more people you have in your life, the more distracted you can be. It's easier to maneuver when you're just by yourself and your consciousness is only with a handful of people. Keep your circle small. The smaller your circle is, the bigger your vision is going to be. Another thing, learn to stay out the past. The past can keep people emotionally struck. So what you have to understand is the windshield that I'm in right now, this windshield is bigger than this rearview mirror. See, the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror right here because you got to see more going forward and you're not supposed to really be paying attention to things that are behind you. That's why the mirror is smaller and the windshield is bigger, so you can see more going forward. So just work on moving forward in life and stop looking in your past. Because if you keep looking in your past, eventually you're going to crash. And when you crash out, you're just going to be thinking about old shit that happened that's affecting you from moving forward. That happens with a lot of people. Their biggest problem is that they're just stuck in the past. All right, let's see here. Question, Baller Ship 13 says, can you explain the life of a basic girl versus a party girl versus a street girl? It all depends. You got to, what type of guy are you? See, a basic girl is just going to be quiet. She spends most of her time around mom and grandma, no kids. You know what I'm saying? She has a dad in her life. She's a family-oriented person. The party girl is typically the girl who has no father in her life, and she is out enjoying life, having fun to cover up pain that she probably went through as a child. Most women that like to party, get out here and get loose, they're normally suffering from stress. The street girl is someone who's just been abandoned by family members. When girls are abandoned by family members, they go to the streets and build a family. They start to join gangs. They start to build a girl gang. They start to become more for the streets. They start to become prostitutes. They get them They get them a pimp. If they don't get them a pimp and they just freelancing, they become a strong, like, ginger type woman. So you got to realize, party girls can come from good families as well. And real settled good women come from good families as well. 9 times out of 10, the street girl is abandoned by her family and she comes from bad backgrounds. You'll see a lot of kids adopted go to the streets. All right? Hopefully that was a good breakdown for you. All right, let's see here. He says, Riri, what do you think about Leo women? Leo, I don't know. I tell guys all the time, they're the biggest headaches in the zodiac. I don't fuck with Leo women. Drama, more drama again, more drama. They're just like Virgos. Eventually, they turn into know-it-alls that know nothing. Ray Allen with the $3. Really appreciate it, my dude. All right, that's how I feel about Leo women. If you want, the sex would be good with them, but at the end of the day, man, like they have a mindset where you don't want to be around them. They're cool to get the party started, but being around them, eventually you'll get sick of them, bro. Nobody wants to be around a Leo. All right, let's see here. Atlas 93. If you choose not to answer this one, I understand. But as a Muslim, what are your thoughts on 9/11? Do you think it was an inside job or there is no deception of it? I don't know, bro. I'm past that. I'm going to be honest with you. 9/11 came and went. There's other stuff going. Listen, when 9/11 came, I was in Italy at that time. I was at different parts of the world. I've seen crime everywhere. I've seen people get killed in Brazil. I've seen some nasty shit happen in there. Everywhere there's something bad going on. Far as conspiracy theories, this, that, I don't really get involved in all that. I just adjust to the cards that life deals me and make the adjustment from there and go on. I don't know. That was 20-something years ago. I'm not really staying on top of that. I'm not a conspiracy theory guy. Like, I'm not the type of dude that digs so deep into shit that I'm trying to come up. Like, I don't care who killed John F. Kennedy. I don't care what happened to Martin Luther King. I don't care about these old stories because we live in such a different world now that it's all digital. You got to stay on top of your spirits now. Or shit, it don't matter what happened. Anybody can die at this point. I'm just trying to live my life and not get caught up. Fitness First says, hold on, let me go back up. Those that don't learn from their past are doomed. You're right. Zach Baldoff says, if a girl look at you when you're walking down the street or in the train, should you keep making eye contact or avoid it? What's the situation? If you're walking past each other and you just got a quick glance, keep that shit, man, keep it moving, bro. You would know if a woman wants you or not. You would know that. You would feel it. You would know if somebody wants you or not, bro. You would know that already. Anthony, leave your mother and father. Anthony, leave your mother and your father and join a woman. Most of the men haven't left their mother and they just replaced their mother with women. Right. You're talking about a bummy nigga, though. You're talking about a son husband. Son husbands do that. In my life, this is the thing. Growing up, my mom used to tell me, you the smartest dude on the planet. You're going to be very successful. You're going to have a lot of women. But you got to be able to handle it. She used to tell me that every day. You got to be able to handle it. You're smart. If I brought home like a B, my mom would be like, you got to get that B up. Sorry, you got to live like a king. My entire life, I can tell you, my mom had me convinced that I was going to be great. She had me convinced that it was meant for me to be this. It was me that simped. It was me that was getting in a relationship with bad girls. It was me not doing that. And then my mother was like, I told you not to be with those girls. I told you not to chase her. I told you not to do this. Like, so in my life, when it comes to a woman, it was beneficial, especially when I had alpha uncles. So you have to realize is that the worst type of dude is a son husband. If you've been programmed to only catering to your mother, then you're going to have problems when you got to return back into the real world. This is why so many black men, they go from a narcissist mom to a narcissist girlfriend who talks like a fucking dude. Look how many black men you see now just skinny with dreadlocks, and they got a woman that talks like a fucking man because they went from a narcissist mom to a narcissist girlfriend. When it comes to me, like, my mom been married to my stepdad for a very long time. So in my life, my dad's been married for a very long time. My mom's been married for a very long time. So I've actually seen structure in my life, and I haven't been taught to be a simp. Now, there is a part of my life where my mom kept me away from my dad. I can tell you that really hurt our relationship. But I was never a son husband. Never. I was just surrounded by so many uncles. When my mom was off at war, I was always living with a man. So it was different over here. So you're right. A lot of guys lead a relationship and they go get another mom. Silver Lion with the $5 says, whack ass super stickers can't send a fat bird dancing. It's just not in me. Big shout outs, bro. Really appreciate the $5, my man. We know you donate around here. We know you show love. That's what's up, bro. All right, he says, turn this into a video, Big Ant. All right, I'm going to leave the video up. He said, you ever been with a Libra woman? One time. Never really, you know what I mean? One time. Man, I've been with a lot of girls, bro. I don't really keep track. I just worry about the relationship I'm in now. All right, Daniel Spell says, have you ever heard of a... No, I never heard of that. I can't even recite it. I don't even know what it is. Let's go back up and see if we got any more questions. Get some more questions in there. You guys are doing good on the likes, and definitely get the donations up. Let's see here. Leo woman, anything else? Peen on her. Mistakes. All right, let's get some more questions in before I go. It seems like everybody running out. Asperger's syndrome, I don't know what that is, bro. Alex in the zone, he says, what do you think about the black pill? The black pill is just people that gave up. It's pretty much women hate at this point. You know what I'm saying? That's just the real talk about it. That's just guys that's giving up. If you giving up on just women and you moving on, that's just what it is, in my opinion. To me, I don't give up on life. It's too much shit out here for you to do. And it's so easy now to be destructive. It's so easy now to just end your life. It's so easy to give up because you have so many people that are just nagging and complaining about life, and no one's accountable about anything they do. Delvin Coleman, big shout outs, bro. Really appreciate it with the $5. He says, thank you. So you have to understand in life, if you've given up, then give up. You know what I mean? Don't sit around and complain about it. That's how I am. When I give this knowledge of women, I try to come from a psychological point of view so you guys understand that these situations are never going to stop, and you're not going to outthink the perfect way to live. It's just not going to work. You have to get off your ass. You have to get life experiences. This is why I don't read books. I tell you guys, I don't read books because I'm too observant of life. I only read what's going to in the direction where I want to go. All right. T.O. says, can you talk about changes and benefits of being in your 30s? Your 30s only benefit you is if you went through a lot of learning processes in your 20s. If you spent your 20s running away from problems, your 30s are going to suck. Because in your 30s, you have to be accountable. In your 40s, you have to be accountable. You have to be accountable from here on up. That's the difference. Eric sent $6 on the cash out. Big shout outs, bro. Is that Elric? Elric sent $6. Really appreciate it, my man. So in your 30s, if you've had the heartbreak and you've been studying the red pill, your 30s is going to be easy if you really took advantage of your 20s. Your 30s are going to be easy. If you're in your 30s and you've never experienced pain and you've only ran away from issues, it's going to suck from here on out. That's the difference. 30 years old, a man starts to get his momentum. Then he starts to make a lot of money by 35. By the time we're 40, 50, this is where you want to be. Like, men are so good at their 30s, 40s, and 50s that it's unreal. That's where you want to be. But if you haven't been learning from your mistakes, it's going to suck if you've just been running away from problems. That's how I feel. A. Hernandez, big shout outs, bro. Really appreciate the $5, my man. Really do. All right. Bears 3 with the $10. Much respect, bro. Really appreciate that, my man. I like when y'all come in here showing me love. Okay, Sharon and Kobo. I'm going to answer these questions now, but everybody got to get with the program. You have to put a Q in front because you got to realize my screen is this big. So when I'm skimming through, I'm looking for Q's and I'm looking for letters and I'm looking for coloring. So Hernandez and Bears 3, big shout outs, bro. Really appreciate it, my man. QO, he says, talk about being in your 30s. You have to learn from experience. Cobra227 says, have you ever thought about having a autobiography written about your life and experiences? No. I don't feel like I'm that important, and I don't want to put myself out there as if I'm that important. When I listen to these stories in my emails, and I get a lot of emails, and you guys know I don't answer every story, but a lot of stories that I do answer and I sit back and listen to, I don't feel the need to have an autobiography about my life. I haven't been through enough pain. I'm smart. I've been a lot of experiences, but I think that a lot of things that the average guy online has been through, I haven't been through that. So I wouldn't want to put my life out there as this is good. I don't want to put my life out there as if it's important. I'm a regular guy. I don't feel like, hey, I'm Anthony Spade. Here's my book and here's my autobiography where I tell my life. I'm not doing that. Like, some of you guys will look at my life and be like, what the fuck? Why would you even make an autobiography of this? This doesn't showcase any pain, or like, I haven't been through a lot of pain that a lot of other people have been through. Or I don't feel like I'm a celebrity. I want to be regular. Like, one thing that I learned about Hollywood and why I walked away from Hollywood is that you have to be able to compete to have phony people around you. And then when you make a lot of money, when you stop and think about it, you're ultimately paying for phony people to be around you. And when you die, you just made a lot of money to turn around and give it to someone else. So I don't feel like I want to chase fame and riches with my life. I want to be regular. And with me being regular, I'm not going to place myself out there to feel like I'm more important than someone else by putting out a biography that people should watch. Like, I done really been through some harsh ass shit when I haven't. I think a lot of you guys, you've been through way more shit than what I've been through. You should do one on your life. Because when I read a lot of these stories online, I say, damn, man, fuck. This dude been through that, bro. And I'm emailing you back, yo, dog, I feel your pain. But honestly, bro, I ain't never been through that situation, so I don't know how to answer it. So you got to realize that I'm going to come from a realistic point of view. And realistically, bro, I'm just a regular dude on YouTube, man. Like, I'm not a celebrity. I'm not going to put myself out there as to be a celebrity. So I'm not going to drop biographies and stuff like that to where people feel like I'm more important than them. I'm not going to do that, bro. I love being regular. That Hollywood shit, that is not me at all, bro. So don't expect me to put a biography out. All right, big shout outs to Ricky Webster. Come through with the $5. He says supporting the show. I really appreciate that, my man. I really do. You guys know I really care about that. All right, let's see here. Let's go back up. The biography. All right, I'm not putting that out. I'm not making a book about experiences. He says, how can I make money online? Any ideas? Right now, I would probably let the stock market drop a little bit more. And then you want to start getting into the stock market really soon before school starts. Let it drop over the summer. But as you start going back towards school season, you want to start aiming towards Apple. Apple goes up at the same time every year. Google goes up at the same time every year. These are guaranteed plays for you. Let them drop a little bit, jump on them, ride them for a month. That's the fastest way that I can say you can make some money right now. Other than that, become a YouTuber. Start a business. It's so listen. There's millions of ways to get rich now. Choose one and just run with it. That's the only way it's gonna work. You got to be able to have one that you're willing to sustain the pain of going through. All right. Hopefully, I was able to answer your question on that. All right. All right. Next one is Sharing Veneer. He says, "Does it make sense to drive a standard even with crowded cities?" Nobody's driving manual no more, bro. Everybody got an automatic because these tech transmissions move way faster than a manual. Like these VTEC transmissions that's out now, HP transmissions, they're way better than a manual. Nobody's driving manuals no more, bro. Ben Illa, he says, thoughts on getting out of a marriage with children with a narcissist female, asking for a friend. Getting out of a marriage with a narcissist female is going to be the biggest headache because she has something to crutch you, which is the children. This is some of the worst things that you could do. In my opinion, you got to sit down and tell her how you feel, and if she's getting mad. See, this is the part where it's like, I have a hard time answering these questions because I've never been in that position before. So, in my opinion, I can easily say, hey, just get out and leave, man. But you got to think about your kids. You got to think about what's already been built. This is what marriages are for. To death do you part. So you got to understand what you got yourself into when you said that. Now that you want to leave, it's going to be harder to leave. You got to tell her, all right, I'm not happy. This is what's going on. At least try to make it work, because y'all see a lot of women online that divorced their husband because they wasn't happy. And then you say, oh, you're supposed to make it work. Especially when Kevin Samuels was around. Y'all were telling women that you got to make it work even if you got a bad husband. Now you in a relationship with a woman fucked up. So I got to tell you, make it work. So you got to realize what you signed up for, bro. Because getting out with a narcissist woman, good luck. Good luck, brother. Narcissist women don't go out with a smile. They go out with a bang. Understand that. That's the advice I can tell you. You better sit down and talk to her, my man. All right. Keandre said a good stock to buy right now is going to be Forge Global. All right. Okay, let's see here. All right. And E2 said, you ain't no sellout. All right. Big shout outs, bro. Okay. Reactions always speak fast. Okay. Devin Coleman says, what is regular? Is it not same as what is reality? Regular is where you accepted that you want to be average. There's too many people out here that never say I'm average. They never say, hey, I accept being an average person. I accept that I'm probably not going to buy a mansion. I accept the fact that I'm probably not going to own a super sports car. I accept the fact that I'm going to live a basic standard life. I'm a minimum list right now. That's what I call regular. All right. You have people out here, they're afraid to tell themselves that they're regular. They always want to appear to be bigger. They always want to appear like they're something. So when I say regular, regular just means I'm living day-to-day life as a regular Joe, not trying to portray the image of someone special. Reality is just the world we live in. Not living in reality is trying to carry out a world that doesn't exist. So we live in reality. So living in reality, I live as a regular Joe. But you have people that live in reality that live in La La Land. That's the difference. All right, let me go back up. Okay. Somebody, George Garage says there's no HP transmission. There's no 798 piece transmission that's inside of Red Eye right now. Shut up, goofball. I hate when you niggas get up here talking about cars. Red Eye got that same transmission I just named. Shut up. You said, have you ever heard about UFOs? I don't care about them UFOs, bro. I deal with UFOs when they show up and I can talk to them. All right, Brian Lonnie, he says, do you think Andrew Tate popularity will continue the momentum once he's released, even though the real world has their own agenda? Um, I think the day that Andrew Tate is released, he's gonna go viral almost immediately. But I can tell you this, you will see a different Andrew Tate. You're not going to see the same Andrew Tate come out. I can guarantee you that because he's a chess player. He's adjusting himself to the environment right now. He has to come out a new way. He's not going to be moving the same way. I can guarantee you that. Somebody like him is extremely smart and quickly adjustable. He's going to adjust himself with a new strategy. Do not expect him to come out and be flamboyant with it all over again and be as aggressive as he is. He's going to get out. They're going to try to keep him to the max. But I'm going to tell you right now, people should not expect that same Andrew Tate. I think the first day out is going to be shocking. It's going to be live. It's going to be everyone's going to want to know what's going on. But I think over the couple of weeks of him being out, you may see a difference in him. Because he's thinking about it now. He ain't gonna come out and just go gun-ho. He can't. He doesn't. He hasn't built up enough power yet. They isolated him too fast. All right. Daniel Spell, is it better to pay a car note or not have one to begin with? It all depends. If you need a car, you need to get a car. If you just don't want a car, you want to save money, get you an A and B car if you need a car. You ain't got to be fashionably loud with your car. But get a car. If you don't need a car and you can still get through life, then don't buy one. I love cars. I have a lot of cars. You guys know that. I'm a car man. But I don't have brand new cars. I take old cars and turn them into masterpieces. That's why even the truck I'm in now, this is old. I just turned it into a masterpiece on Instagram. So it's going to be up to you. All right, guys. I'm trying to get to like 150. Let's get some more donations in here. Y'all got me at 93. Let's get the donations up. Question, is the cat the same for the races you've been with? Is the cat the same for the races you've been with? I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the pussy. No. I could probably tell you the best sex is with a black woman. Hands down. The most romantic is with a Latino woman. All right? The freakiest is with a white woman. White women do anything. When you start getting into Arab and you start getting into like Hindu and you start getting into like, what's the other one? They're more soft and submissive. You know what I'm saying? It's mainly the same shit. They not really freaked out. Like, to me, the biggest freak out of all of them is going to be the white chick. In my opinion, it's going to be the white chick. I kind of think the black woman probably has the best sex, and then the Latino is the most romantic with sex. Like, she's like the Latino woman brings sexy to the bedroom, but all out get into it, just get into it. A black woman, bro. Ain't gonna lie to you, and that's how I feel about the different races of women. It's just that some are just more aggressive than the next. All right, let's see here. I got the cops out here on my ass. It's all good. All right. Is the cat the same? He said, Silver Lion said, agree. The HP 90. The HPP. Right. 8 HP 90, something like that. I was close. It is an HP transmission, ain't it? I was just off by them numbers. I know because I've been researching them. I just got discombobulated. But there's an HP engine. Okay. He says, Anthony, what's your stay about Western culture promoting of homosexuality? It's just as a bride. When I was coming up, we had these people in our school. When I was living in Miami for a while, that was already there. That was normal. Transsexuals have been going to the gym with us for a long time. It's just that they used it for politics movements. You got to realize, how the fuck you think a black man became president? He backed up the LGBT. You see? And then when Trump got in, that LGBT quieted down a little bit. But then they used the LGBT again. They used the Black Lives Matter movement, and then they got Biden in office. So you got to realize that in order for Obama to get in office, he had to back up the LGBT. That's why it's so big, because it got promoted for 8 years and brainwashed into the school system. Now, look back, 15 years later, look at the mindsets of people. These agendas have been going on. But as a Sigma, you just got to adjust to it. You can't complain about it. Just adjust to it. That's the best way it's going to work. New Country Guy, the Anchor Punching Boxing News. He says, Anthony, I listened to a lot of your videos. Thanks for what you do, bro. We need more men out there encouraging other men to tap into their masculinity. You're right, bro. It's just so hard for guys to tap into their masculinity now because they've been sitting so long on the computer. They're chipped up. They don't know the emotion of being outside. They're scared of people. They're running away from conflict. They're running away from confrontation. They're running away from anything that's not going to put a smiley face on their face. That's what they're running away from. Too many. All right, Daniel Spell, he says, last one. Did you hear about the guy trying to steal a Cadillac converter and a woman ran him over by accident? That's his stupid ass, bro. That stupid ass shit that happens down the street with these crackheads. These crackheads out here be getting hit by cars and it never fucking makes the news. But yeah, I definitely see that type of stuff, but I see worse shit happening in real life as well. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Is the cat the same? All right, take one more question and somebody donate $5 so I can get me over the $100 brat. Silver Lion would not have been by accident if my cat been jacked. He said it won't be by accident if his cat been jacked. All right, you're right. If his Hellcat, you damn right. You got a Hellcat, you don't want nobody to steal your Cadillac converter. But them things sitting so low to the ground, ain't nobody get ready to get for that. I don't have a cat. I got the RT with a Pro Charger in there. I'm faster than a cat. Let's see here. All right. Silver Lion, what is it that you don't agree with? Don't agree, Anthony Spade. All right, guys, it looked like we're at the end of the road with this live. All right, Brian Lonnie, he says, how do you feel about Fresh and Fit debating women, and now it's becoming very popular? Are they doing us men justice? Yeah, but Fresh and Fit, that's their thing. Everybody is emulating them, but at this point, they're on year 3 that they've been doing it. It's their thing. Everybody's just emulating it because that's what the internet wants. Everybody wants this debating back and forth with women going on. It's their brand. Their brand makes the money, so they stick with it. People like it. It created a show. But at the same time, you got to realize they keep elevating it. Fresh and Fit keep taking it to another level, and they beat everybody else out because they have better looking women. That's where Fresh and Fit is doing everybody in at. It's because they have better looking women that are specifically, when they come to Miami, these girls are looking to go on the show. So they already have a name that keeps people coming back. If you ask me, that's genius. I like Fresh and Fit. I fucks with Myron. Myron know that. Think about it. I'm the only content creator that had Fresh and Fit back when everybody was throwing them underneath the bus. I'm the only one that stood up and said what he did was cool. Silver Lion with the $5. Boom. Big shout outs, bro. Brian Lonnie with the $5. Boom. Big shout outs, bro. Really appreciate that. He said, how much horsepower you get with a Pro Charger on there? If you do it with long tube headers, and if you do it with long tube headers in a straight pipe with a Pro Charger, you're looking at almost 200 more horsepower. Make sure you get the long tube headers and change your throttle body as well. Maybe a 105, like I got a 95 millimeter on mine, but you can go up to like a 105 that come with a Trackhawk, long tube headers with the Pro Charger. You're looking at 200 horsepower right there, just with the long tube headers and that bigger throttle body in the Pro Charger. But you also got to get a 10-pound Pro Charger. I'm pushing 11 pounds of boost in mine. There's Pro Chargers that's only going to give you 5 pounds of boost. The bigger the Pro Charger, the more horsepower. But if you're dealing with a Hemi 5.7, you can go about 12 pounds of boost. If you're dealing with a 6.4 Scat Pack, don't boost it at all. It's just a matter of time before you blow your engine because your walls are small. You have to realize the Hellcat engine is smaller than the Scat Pack engine to make the walls bigger for the boost. So 5.7s can handle a lot more boost. Ben Elsa with the $5 on Cash App. Really appreciate it, bro. Really appreciate that one. So hopefully I answered your question about the horsepower with the Pro Charger. The Pro Charger is the way to go. Trust me. You want speed, a Pro Charger is the way to go. Savage Veteran says, what do you think about ex-narcs never posting pictures on social media with any of their partners? It's because they're keeping the door open for new people to come in. Whenever someone's not trying to share their relationship, they're leaving the door open for other people to come in. That's how I feel about that. A narcissist person don't care about nobody but themselves. Everybody in their life is a pond. That's why it's not even worth being with them. All right, guys, we're coming up on hour number 2. All right, and I think we did good today. We made $100 in 2 hours. Big shout outs to everybody that did donate. Big shout outs to regular guy coming in today. Ninja showed up. Keandre showed up. We got some new people. Silver Lions always here. Sigma Nation's definitely in the building. You guys make sure you subscribe to Sigma Nation. And I got a new channel now called Anthony Spade Clips that we're building it up now. And I'll have the link in the next description. So there is another channel that's coming that's going to be Anthony Spade Clips that's going to be strictly with shorts. Damn, I got to go brush my teeth. All right, and that's the end of the live. We have no more questions. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels. All right, 296 people in here. This is what's getting ready to happen. When this live shuts off within the next minute or so, I'm going to release a video. I want you guys to go over there and watch a video. It's going to be a 50 Cent girlfriend tries to play a prank on him, but that's just the beginning of the video. And then I have commentary for the other videos that I have, all right? I want you guys to get over there and watch. He says, I've been subbed for years and can't get my question answered. Crazy. Where's your question? Where did you put the Q at? I don't know if you're subscribed to me for years. Where's the Q? As I stroll, I keep saying, where's the Q? If you got a question that's going to be asked, put it in. But make sure you're putting a Q in front of the damn question. Don't come on here asking why your question ain't been answered and you ain't following the damn rules. As I go up, I don't see your question nowhere. So if you got a question, get that shit in. You better hurry up. This motherfucker look like he ain't asked shit. I'm even going back up and I can't find the damn question. So, Ashanti Smith with the $5. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that on the Cash App. All right, Kuko Crook King. Hurry up, bro. Hurry up. If you're going to ask a question, ask a question. Don't be, and if you don't ask a question, I'm about to block you from my shit. Since y'all want to complain, but don't want to follow the rules. Tomorrow's lesson, I don't know. Y'all give me some ideas in the comments for tomorrow's lesson. Bro, you ain't gonna ask the question? Fucking goofballs. Well, Crooked King just got blocked from the channel. Shit. Say it again, man. Damn. Y'all niggas sending this long ass fucking message. I was blocking your ass for the channel for not asking the damn questions. Ask the question again, man. I ended up blocking the nigga from the channel because I thought he wasn't going to answer the question. Then they sent me the question after it. How can an average guy attract nice looking women? Money. 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 That's simple. You want to attract nice looking women? Money. Women follow the money. What type of car is that in the background? Jeep Grand Cherokee 5.7. Pro Charger goes on in a couple weeks. In fact, I'm kind of fucking cold. Takeem's definitely in the building. All right, do you think going from a relationship with friends with benefits with the same girl will work? No. I'm going to explain to you why friends with benefits relationships never turn into real relationships. It's because when it comes to women, if she chooses to be friends with you with benefits, she's already disconnected her heart. She's already said that I'm only going to sleep with this guy. She has her mind made up that there's another guy that she wants to marry. You don't want to get in friends and benefits relationships because at some point she's going to change on you. She normally only gets in friends and with benefits relationships with guys that she feel like she could dispose of later. So understand, don't ever do a friends with benefits relationship and try to convert it into a real relationship. It's only going to make you look weak and she will take advantage of you. You know what I'm saying? So my advice, when the sex dies out, keep that shit moving. That's my advice. Friends with benefits, leave it alone. You're supposed to go into friends with benefits relationships automatically leaving your heart out of it. It's only sex. You guys are not supposed to be dating. You're not supposed to be pretending to be in a relationship. You can't be two emotional people that just want sex. You want a relationship, but you're pretending like you don't want it, but you're still having sex. You can't do that. And a lot of guys do that. No, friends with benefits, when that dies out, leave it alone. Leave it alone. I'm telling you, it never converts. When you want to be in a real relationship with a woman, it should never start off with sex. I'm telling you, never start it out with sex. Always build the bond first and then go into sex. When the relationships lead with sex, when the sex dies out, it's over. You know why? Like I told you, love comes after sex. It's never at the beginning. Love has to be earned through respect of both parties. It isn't, damn, I love her. You love her, why? Because she ain't giving you enough sex? You care about it because you're getting dopamine releases? That's what people count as love. No. When the sex dies, leave it alone. The person you're supposed to love is going to be the person you least expect. He says, but I don't think I want to be in a relationship again. It just kills my hunger in me. Then go chase a dream, bro. Go chase a dream. People that don't want to be in relationships, they find themselves traveling. They find themselves living a life. They find themselves taking on goals and dreams. Trust me, there's plenty of people that say, I don't want to be in a relationship, and they find a way to create a life. That's what is going to matter. Just make sure you're living a life. Whether you're in a relationship or not, just make sure you're living a life. Like if I wasn't in a relationship, I'm going to still be customizing cars. That's how you got to look at it. What are you going to do? Like if a woman wasn't in your life, what would you continue to do? For a lot of people, it's, oh, I'm just going to sit on the internet all day and I'm going to feel like I'm doing something because the internet keeps me entertained. That's how a lot of people are. The internet just keeps them entertained and they start to feel like they're doing something with their day, but they're not. So make sure that you are doing something with your time and in your day. All right. He says tomorrow's lesson. All right, my battery about to die. He says, tomorrow's lesson, how to talk to women over text without looking like a bitch. I got you. How to talk to women over a text. I'm going to research it, come up with my conclusion, and see if I can pull a lecture out of it. Hey, that's because I blocked you because I didn't think that you were going to have any questions. So, Concy Crook King Kong, ask your question now. I'm not getting off this live until your question come through. All right? We're going to wait on Cuckoo Crooking King Kong to ask his question. Everybody else, you can ask a question in between until he types out that long-ass message he was about to say. Manipulation amongst women in relationships. All right. Well, we just talked about that, bro. That's what this lecture was about. Why you can't leave the narcissist woman. So today's lecture talked about the manipulation of women. That's what we talked about for 2 hours. So we won't be doing that tomorrow. How to talk over text, that's something that I can write down and I can start studying it tonight. I can start building me a script tonight, and then I can have the thumbnail and shit done by in the morning, and then I can put it out. That's something fast. So, question tomorrow's lecture. Yeah, if you got any ideas, put them in there. Right now, we got how to talk over text. I'm going to go write a script for that. And I got some scripts that are just sitting here that when I get bored, I start writing these scripts just to have them as backups, but they little shit. He says, imagine the manipulation going on in lesbian. Lesbian relationships are all manipulation. They're just two emotional women that really need love, that can't find it in a man. That's really what it is. Tomorrow's time, 12:30 every day, bro. 12:30, between 12:30 or 12:45. My lectures are the same time every day. All right. I'm still waiting on, he said, do you believe in green lines, body stance? I don't know what that is, green lines. What's green lines, body stance? These may be lingos I've heard before. Frame. Oh, having an alpha frame? Yeah. Standing frame? Yeah, man. Like, the thing is, you either got it or you don't. Nobody's going to be able to walk around like this. Like, you see niggas in the gym walking around all swole, but they really ain't swole. Like, you can't fake the shit. That's one thing that you can't do. Crooked Kong King, he needs to hurry up. Hey, was my microphone better today or it sounded the same? Give me a 1 if the microphone is good. See, Crooked Kong King, he got a big ass question he gonna ask, so he gotta take forever to type that shit out. And you into old school music? Sometimes when it's sampled, not a lot. All right, can you do another baby mama lecture where you go deep? What you mean where I go deep? When it comes to baby mothers and it comes to dealing with single mothers, like, so what are you trying to do? I sent it, but I don't know what's going on, Brody. I'm waiting on it. Send it in pieces. I can see this question. I sent it. I don't know what's going on, Brody. Hey, send it in smaller pieces, bro. Unless you cursing, don't curse in it. He said he don't know what's going on. He said old school muscle. Oh, yeah. I like old school muscle, but you got to realize, old school muscle, the only stuff that moves was the 426 engines. All that other old school engines is not as fast as these new cars. I'm really into the speed. Do you play basketball? No. Silver line in 200 characters. Keep your questions simple as possible, bro. Try to simplify it. All right, everyone's saying that's good. All right, I'm going to start keeping the microphone where it's at right now. All right, Cuckoo Kong, come on, bro. We waiting on you. Because I got a video I got to release. He said new cars are plastic. He's right. My next car is probably going to be a 1952 Bel Air. And then I plan on putting a Scat Pack engine into that. Yeah, I think the Impalas are good, but I really want me a Bel Air. I want something low-key, old-school gangster look. You know what I'm saying? Flat black, 24-inch rims on the back. Are you married? No. I'm in a very, very, very good relationship. But my marriage, if I decide to get married, it would be without paperwork. That's already an agreement. Well, in the Muslim community, we really don't have to deal with that. We have our own laws that don't connect with the United States laws. So, Chavelle's. All right. Cuckoo Crook King Kong. Going once. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes, bro. He said a Bel Air cost a grip. He said cast a grip, but at the end of the day, they stupid clean. Right. Bel Airs are expensive, but all I want is just the shell. I want the shell. I can do the interior. I can drop the engine in there. I could put a new frame on there. But actually, I just need the frame. I could get a good chassis and put it on top of the chassis. So I'm really just looking for a frame for like 14 grand. And then I can build it up from there, believe it or not. Do you sell cars or trucks? No, I don't sell them. These are my personal cars that I deal with. The only time I sell them is when, like right now, I'm selling a F-150 lifted with a 6-inch lift on there. It's got 24, it's about 12 wheels, deep dish. It sticks out maybe a half of an inch. I'll probably say, yeah, about 7 inches away from the wheel well. It's pretty mean. I'm selling that right now for whatever. All right, looks like I'm not going to get my... All right, Brian Lonnie says, I want to thank Just Pearly Things. Big shout outs, bro. He says, her video with Andrew Tate helped me find you. Really appreciate it, my man. Ricky Webster just bought a 1982 MC9, an old gray bus. I'm about to restore it. Gonna travel and vlog. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Blog when it gets right. Yeah, nowadays they got so much. Ever since they started building these miniature houses on these cars, like these people got these small house things. Like you could build so much out of a little space now. Now they got TV shows where you can do it. That's what makes me want to get a Bel Air. It's watching a lot of people hook up their old cars. Takeem's in the building. He said, do you have any traveling blogs scheduled this year? If so, domestic or international? Okay, I got Turkey I got to do this year. Turkey, I got to go to Turkey probably in the summertime. At the end of the summer, definitely Los Angeles. My mother's moving back out to Los Angeles. So I have to go see my mom in Los Angeles. I got Miami in a couple weeks, but everybody know I'm in Miami every 3 months. That's just, I'm going to be down there handling stuff for family. But I also have not a conference, but just family stuff that I got to go take care of in Boca, Lakeland, Orlando, Coral Springs. I got shit in Coral Springs to go take care of. But for the most part, when I get to Miami, Miami's going to be very sporadic. I'm going to be in and out even when I'm there. Kovo. So that's what I have planned out. Turkey this year, Miami and Los Angeles, and that's all I got planned this year. Cove says, question, you were about to say something about baby moms. Oh yeah, everyone always asks me about single mothers. All right, where can I go and see pictures of your F-150? On my other channel, Life with Anthony Spade. Go down into the description, Life with Anthony Spade. You can see all my cars. You'll see the Range Rover over there. You'll see all the other cars. When it comes to baby mothers, I think I broke this down to you guys before. When you're dealing with single mothers, this is how I look at it. The most valuable single mom is going to always be the divorcee. It's the woman who's been divorced. And the reason why is because she's already relationship structured. She's had less miles on her because she's been married. And I'm talking about for most situations, not every situation, but for the most part, she's been with the same guy. She knows what's entitled into the relationship. She has less physical miles, but she may have more mental miles just going through the divorce and having a bad relationship that caused the divorce. But one thing you can say about a divorcee is that these women have gotten over their ex-husbands. It's different than the next girl I'm going to talk about. So divorcees' children know who's who and what's what. She knows how a relationship goes. To me, if you're going to deal with a single mother, the divorcee is the most valuable one because of the less miles, and she's been programmed. The second type of baby, the single mother, is going to be the woman that's never been married but has a child, right? And she has a child and she was in a relationship for a while, has a child but never married. This is the type of girl you only date, because when they're in a relationship for long periods of time and they have a child with that guy didn't want to marry her, but she stayed in a relationship because she loved him. What does that mean? That means even when you get with her, she'll never be able to give her love to you because she still has love for the child's father. That's why she stayed in the relationship and had the child and did not get married. Those are the ones you just make sex buddies that's never been married but have a kid. When you get to the girl who's a single mother and all her kids are by different dudes, and the first child by a different dude, she never married, the second child by a different dude, and let's say she may even have a third child by a different dude, avoid at all costs. That's a breeder. Some girls are just breeders. They don't mind having kids. You'll see breeders move back in with like grandma and mom, and then they'll just be having fucking kids all day, and grandma and mom will be taking care of all the fucking bastard kids that are running around. Those are breeders. You have to stay the fuck away from a breeder because they come off submissive, but they suck dick really good. They do whatever you want. You start to believe you can have them as a wife, even though they got all them damn kids. But keep in mind, every nigga done already turned her into a porn star. That's why she's doing it. She's a breeder. She won't even realize she's having multiple kids by multiple different dudes. They'll just be cute to her. You stay the fuck away from the baby mom who ain't never been married and got multiple kids by multiple different dudes. She's a breeder. Those baby fathers are going to be the baby fathers that say, I'm only taking care of my kid. Leave her the fuck alone. She's strictly for bummy niggas that just want to have a kid because they couldn't have a kid with the woman they want. They go and sleep with that girl, get her pregnant, and then they just come by and only take care of their kids. Leave her the fuck alone. The girl over there that has a child, the single mother that has a child but never been married, only date her because she's still in love with the baby father. She ain't getting over that. She had the kid to trap him, to get him to marry, and it didn't work. She'll never create emotion for you. You'll only be the boyfriend. The one that's going to be willing to be in a relationship is going to be the divorcee. I'm telling you, because the divorcee really wants to be in a relationship, and by the time she gets done with a divorce, her and her ex-husband don't get along at all. But she's already structured for a relationship, and the kid already know who's who and what's what. You don't get many bad kids when in divorcee children. You don't. You get bad kids from the woman who's never been married. The woman who's never been married, her kids are going to be bad as fuck. They're going to be smoking They're going to be smoking cigarettes at a young age. She's going to always be having problems with them. And then those problems are going to interrupt in the relationship. When you're dealing with a divorcee, the kid is already trained, bro. They're already trained to go to their room. They're already trained to know who's who and what's what. They don't watch mommy and daddy argue. So they know who's the aggressor and who's not the aggressor. You deal with a more settled kid in a divorcee because you got to realize you will be dealing with someone else's kid. So, in my opinion, the divorcee is the most valuable. That's how I feel about single moms. Never married, that's just sex, bro. Multiple kids by multiple different dudes, never married, avoid at all costs. Those are breeders. All right? When it comes to single mothers, that's about as deep as I can go. Why? Because that's not my specialty, bro. That's how I look at it. From the outside looking in, that's how I look at it. But that's not my specialty. I'll deal with a divorcee before I just deal with a woman who has a kid. You can't be with the woman who used sex to try to trap a nigga, who used a baby to try to trap a nigga. Her brain is fucked up. Trust me. Use the woman who at least attempted to try to do the right thing. All right, what else we got? All right, and that's all I got to say about single mothers right now. All right, guys, y'all kept me on here all day. Listen, all 259 of you, I'm about to drop a video. Y'all make sure y'all watch it with 50 Cent. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels. Oh, here we go. Now y'all want to talk. He said, yo, I'm glad I caught the stream, bro. What we talking about? We at the end, Enos. Enos, I gave you a shout out 2 hours ago. You just now showing up. We get ready to go ahead and get on up out of here, bro. I was just answering somebody's question, but rewind it, go back and watch the beginning of the lecture. All right. Comment, like, subscribe to both of my channel. Hasta la vista. Thanks for everybody that donated.